That's what I'm talking about. That's what I love to see. Keeping the streak alive. And streak don't really matter. What matters is how they look today. The Ravens get the 23-10 victory over the Tennessee Titans in the preseason. Nobody really cares about who wins or loses the game. The main focus is, what did we get from this game? Now, I was taking notes of this game, and I saw a lot of highlight plays and a lot of things I'm going to address, but it won't be in this video. This is a recap video. I'm going to wait until tomorrow where I talk about my overall takeaways from this game. However, I'm going to talk about some of the things we saw here. I'm going to go over the offense, I'm going to go over the defense, and give my overall assessment on what we saw today. So let's get right into it. Offensively, what did we see from the Ravens? Let's start with the quarterbacks. Man, the quarterbacks were on it in this game. Tyler Huntley and Anthony Brown, and even Brett Hundley when he came in, all three of these guys were on it when it came to throwing the football. They were accurate, they were efficient. That's exactly what you want to see, which is very promising because, these guys haven't exactly had a very impactful, training camp. You've seen Huntley and you've seen both Anthony Brown. They've kind of had some up and down practices, and at times they've struggled. They haven't really had great practices, but you couldn't tell from the way they played in this game. I mean, Tyler Huntley just came out here and just really looked like the guy we saw playing against the Packers when he was that 4-touchdown game he had. He was so efficient throwing the football and just making play after play after play. The way he ran the offense in the first half was beautiful, and I loved what I saw from him. And that touchdown pass to Bridges, beautiful. That's what you love to see. I am glad he is our backup because he's doing exactly what you want to see. And then in the third quarter, you had Anthony Brown come in, and he continued this, and he was playing well, and he was making some great throws down the field. That's exactly what you want to see. Quarterbacks were on it all game. I love it. I love it. I love it. Tyler Huntley just continues to show why he doesn't deserve to be a backup. Like, this guy legitimately should be a starter in the NFL. But hey, I'm glad he's in Baltimore. I'm glad he's backing up Lamar Jackson because he is a great young player, a great young quarterback that continues to develop year in and year out. That's exactly what I want to see. So overall, quarterbacks were fantastic today. But just as the quarterbacks were fantastic, we have to give credit to the wide receivers. My God, the receivers today, they really couldn't drop a pass. They were making so many great catches. I think there was 2 drops, maybe 1 by a receiver. Every receiver was making a play. They were making their catches. This is amazing, man. I came into this game wanting to know how the receivers were going to fight, and boy, did they fight. This wide receiver battle is going to be very interesting. We know that the Ravens are going to most likely keep 4 tight ends, so they'll probably have 5 receivers on the roster. 3 is already guaranteed. Bateman, Prochet, Duvernay. You got that 4th and 5th wide receiver spot that they're fighting for. And let me tell you, man, this dude right here, Shamar Bridges, he came out here and made some noise, made his presence known, and he really impressed a lot of people today. He's our biggest receiver. He's 6'4". All our other receivers are like 6'1" and below. So he's the biggest receiver on the roster, and he was going up to make catches. When's the last time we've had a receiver go up to make contested catches? He was catching the 50-50 balls. The touchdown, he went up to make that catch. We haven't had a receiver do that in quite some time. So this guy definitely made his presence known. We haven't been hearing much from him in training camp. He didn't have much of a presence there, but man, what a way to make some noise, especially when you're fighting for a roster spot. He showed up and showed out tonight. Great on him. I'm telling you, this guy, he's showcasing what he can do. The fact that he's the biggest receiver on the team and he's making plays in game, that's already something beautiful. So we'll see how that progresses in the final 2 preseason games. But man, I think he did a great job today in just separating himself a little in terms of getting one of those spots. In terms of being, I don't even know. I was originally gonna say him being that 5th receiver, but because Tyler Wallace, he got hurt early on in the game and was out for the rest of it. Honestly, with the way Bridges played, he really looked like he could take that 4th receiver spot. But we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. He had a great game here. Way to go from him. But so did everyone else. All the other receivers, everybody was showing up and making big plays. Receivers were on point. There were not really a lot of drops to go around. They were catching the ball. They were catching contested passes. They were catching it down the field. No matter where you put it, these receivers were making catches. Oh, my God. Then you get into the rookie, Isaiah Likely. I mean, this dude is going to be a factor on this offense. The catches he was making today was nice. He had 4 catches, and all of them were like contested catches, and he was catching in traffic, and he was He was physical and doing whatever he needed to do. This guy is going to be a playmaker. He's going to make an impact on our offense. I cannot wait to see him be on the field alongside Mark Andrews, alongside Nick Boyle, alongside Rashad Bateman. It's going to be very difficult. If Isaiah gets those opportunities and he thrives the way he did tonight and the way he's been doing so far in training camp, this Ravens offense can be a problem, especially with this dynamic duo you could have with the tight ends with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. So he did have a couple of holding penalties because he was not doing well on that. So his blocking definitely needs to improve, but hey, they're going to get that cleaned up. It was his first game, so I'm not worried about that. The running backs today were relatively solid. We weren't really running the ball that much. It was really just throwing the ball. And we got most of our yards via the air because these receivers kept making play after play after play. But, you know, we saw a great touchdown run by Davis. Saw some nice speed by Justice Hill. I was surprised by how fast Justice Hill was. Like, he's coming off of wow, I was about to say ACL. He's coming off of an Achilles tear. You know, we had so many ACL injuries. His was an Achilles. So he's coming off of an Achilles tear, and he went out here and showcased his speed. I did not expect to see him that fast and coming out with that burst of energy, man. He looks great. You know, we know he's obviously going to be, you know, involved in the special teams because that's what he's been doing the last couple years. But, man, the way he's looking, the speed he's showcasing, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up winning that third back job. Who knows? Then again, we don't even know if Gus Edwards is going to be ready, and J.K. Dobbins, who knows? Could play in week 1, but he's not guaranteed. Justice Hill, with the speed he's showcasing, he might be on the field week 1 as one of the main backs. We'll just see what happens. Offensive line was actually, I like what I saw from Tyreek Phillips in some cases. I liked what I saw overall from the offensive line. You know, I think they did a good job protecting both Huntley, Brown, and, you know, Brett as well. So, like, they did a good job in the protection. There wasn't really a lot of plays where it's like, okay, pressure's consistently getting there. You know, early on it was a bit slow, but as the game continued to go on, the offensive line was doing their job. And you got to be, that's definitely a positive outlook because we're still trying to figure out this offensive line. Now, of course, this isn't the offensive line we expect to take into week 1, or we at least hope to take into week 1. Obviously, you know, our rookie center, Linderbaum, he wasn't out there because he's still dealing with a foot injury. He's going to be out for the next couple weeks. And then, of course, Ronnie Stanley, we don't know when he's going to be back. But overall, you got to like what you saw from the offensive line. They did a good job. They were really doing a great job in pulling the defenders when we were executing run plays. They were doing some great blocking and doing some really good pass protection. I like what I saw from the offensive line here. Everybody was doing well. Wasn't really a lot of problems there for the most part. We're still getting holding calls, but, you know, it is what it is. It's something we just have to continue to work out. But overall, I like what I saw from the offensive line. Overall, the offense really just made a lot of plays today, and I love what I saw from them. This wide receiver battle is going to be very interesting. Isaiah Likely continues to make an impact in the offensive line. You know, is held up. It held up and looked solid today. And, of course, the quarterbacks played amazing today. All in all, good day. Matter of fact, I'll say great day for the offense in terms of what they were looking to accomplish. They went out there and showcased everything they wanted to do. Now, let's switch over to the defense because the defense was just as good as the offense. Defense got 3 turnovers. It could have been 4. Man, this would have been amazing. Our boy Pepe could have started off the first possession for the Titans. He could have started that off with a pick 6. Malik Willis was throwing it was a little pass in the flat, and Pepe jumped the play and almost had that catch. If he would have made that catch, open field, he was going to get a pick 6 right off the bat on the first drive of the game. He couldn't make that catch, which is unfortunate. But, you know, Pepe, he did look nice. He made some plays on the field today, but, you know, just getting that pick 6 would have been nice, but I like the awareness he had right there to jump that play. And if he would have caught it, that's 6 points right there. So Pepe looked nice. On the second drive, you got to give credit to Malik Harrison and then also credit to Kyle Hamilton, our rookie safety, because those two in that second drive, they looked nice. Malik Harrison he forces the fumble, and Kyle Hamilton just came in, swooped in, and got the fumble recovery. So those two looked great on that drive. They kind of had an up and down situation because, like, they were up when they caused that turnover, and then later on they were kind of down because both of them were whiffing on tackles on a touchdown drive that the Titans had. Malik Willis, we'll get on him in a second, but yeah, they whiffed on that touchdown drive and on that touchdown run specifically with Malik Willis. Overall, up and down day, you know, Kyle Hamilton made some plays here and there. He looked nice. You know, he had a couple tackles that he missed. But yeah, I think it was overall a success for him for his rookie debut here in the preseason. As we continue to go on, I'm sure he's going to get more and more reps, and we'll continue to see how he looks. But yeah, Hamilton looked nice. Malik Harrison forcing that fumble, I like seeing that. I want to see more of that from him. You know, he looked good. The safeties really played well. Geno Stone got himself a pick. He looked good. Wormley, he also looked great as well. He got himself a pick. Our secondary was just on it today, man. They were making stops. Geno Stone had a whole like 3 plays back to back to back. Like on the first play, he makes a tackle behind the line of scrimmage on the back. He just rushes in and makes the stop. And then on the second play, he stops a 50-yard touchdown. He stops the pass from being completed. Great coverage there. 50-yard touchdown does not happen. And then on the third play, he gets the pick. I mean, Geno Stone is fighting for a roster spot, and he came out here today and made some noise. Love what I saw from Geno Stone. Love what I saw overall from the secondary. These guys did well. Love what I saw from Harrison. You know, you want to see more of that from the linebackers. I was a bit interested to see if one of these linebackers would step up, and then specifically the pass rush in terms of, you know, getting pressure. Speaking of that, the front seven today was really nice. They were very consistent in generating pressure. And that's a good sign, because if this front seven can keep that up, we can be a dominating force on defense. Consistently generating pressure is what we want. We got a couple sacks in this game, man. It's exactly what you want. Travis Jones, he got himself a sack in this game. We looked nice. I love the fact that we were able to consistently generate pressure, consistently, you know, getting some pressure on Malik Willis, who was forced to scramble on multiple occasions, consistently just getting pressure overall and forcing stops and making big plays and causing sacks. That's what you want to do. The front seven looked nice. The secondary looked nice. Overall, the defense, they made stops, had some great plays, had a couple of sacks, and forced 3 turnovers. That's what you want to see from these young guys. So offensively and defensively, a lot of young guys and guys that were fighting for a roster spot, they showed up today and they put up a big performance. I love it. It was an overall it was just a great game. It was an all-around great game for both sides of the football. And of course, Justin Tucker was perfect. He was 3 of 3 from field goal range. Obviously, he was not going to miss a field goal. You knew he was going to be perfect. We already knew that. Oh yeah, our new punter. That would be the last one. New punter, man. He had some great punts out there. I think his first 2 punts were really nice. No, the first punt he had that ended up getting called back because of a penalty. That was a nice one. And then he had an even better punt that actually counted. It was a 55-yard punt. So I like what I saw from our punter. He actually punts that high. Like, it's very interesting. It goes up so high. When he's got the ball and he's just like punting it, it travels so high in the air, which is great because it gives our guys extra time to get down there and make a stop, which is why, you know, for most of this game, the Titans didn't really have a lot of great field possession, or at least field position in this case. So, yeah. Our punter, I like what I'm seeing from him for the most part. Other than that, defense I think they did a solid job on dealing with Malik Willis, you know, his rookie debut here in the preseason. I think he had a great game, you know, given the circumstances he was dealing with. He was constantly dealing with pressure, so he had to scramble. He got the touchdown run, so that was good on him. He just led that touchdown drive, and I think that was all the Titans really wanted to see. Going down the field, him being the quarterback, commanding the offense and getting them down the field. That's what he did. He had some nice throws. He had a huge bomb down the field. Seymour was on the coverage there, and I don't know what happened. He got lost. Like, he legit just got lost and didn't know what happened and gave up the huge play. But yeah, you got a bomb from Malik Willis. He showcased some nice throws here and there around the field, and he showcased that he has that ability to take off and run and make plays with his legs. So I think the Titans love what they saw from him, and I think the Ravens defense did a relatively solid job. I would say I'm not even gonna say solid. I'm gonna say they did a really good job in, you know, trying to make stops in the pass game, but they did struggle in trying to contain him. You're going to get that when you're dealing with a mobile quarterback, so it is what it is in that situation. But overall, I think they did well in handling Malik Willis. Then the backup, not the backup, but the other guy came in. I actually cannot remember his name. His name is fleeting right now. And that's just when the defense just started consistently abusing him and got multiple picks off him. So that's great. Defense today was great. I'll be more specific about some of the plays I want to talk about because I took notes about it, and I'll speak on that tomorrow. But overall, offense played well. Defense played well. Special teams looked nice. Great win for the Ravens. These young guys went out there, put on a show, and made a lot of plays on both ends of the ball. So I love what I saw there. And yeah, that's all I got to say for this. Ravens win that first preseason game. They got the next one coming up. I believe it's against Arizona. And then the last one will be against the Commanders. And, you know, after that, we'll start preparing for week 1 against the Jets. And we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say here. Great win for the Ravens. And most importantly, a lot of great plays from a lot of young guys fighting on this roster spot as well as our rookies. I love what I saw tonight. With that being said, that is all I've got. And I'm out of here, man. Peace.